The sun had just risen above the ghats of Varanasi, spilling golden light across the Ganges. Mist hovered like a silk veil over the water, and the bells of distant temples echoed through the narrow lanes. Amid the crowd of pilgrims, tourists, and priests, Dr. Arav Sharma stood quietly at the edge of the steps, gazing into the sacred river. The year was 2025, and India was at the peak of a technological renaissance. Satellites in orbit, AI-driven cities, and renewable energy powering remote villages. But beneath this modern brilliance, Arav knew something ancient still pulsed, hidden and alive, a secret heritage that time itself had tried to erase. Arav was an archaeologist, but not the kind who sought relics to display in glass boxes. He believed India's ancient civilization held coded wisdom, scientific, philosophical, and spiritual, waiting to be understood. For years his theories had been dismissed as fantasies. That changed when he received a sealed envelope 2 weeks ago, containing a tattered palm leaf manuscript and a note that read, "Find what was lost beneath the eternal flame of Shiva. The heritage awaits those who seek with faith, not greed." The manuscript bore inscriptions in a forgotten script, part Sanskrit, part something older. His AI decryption model identified fragments mentioning Agni-shila, the firestone, and a city of light buried beneath the sacred river. He had come to Varanasi not as a pilgrim, but as a seeker of truth. That morning, as he walked through the narrow alleyways, he met his local guide, Mira, a historian and digital cartographer. She had spent her life mapping the unseen India, underground tunnels, lost temples, and forgotten shrines swallowed by urban growth. "You're certain it's under the river?" she asked, adjusting her smart glasses to project the holographic map she'd built. "We've scanned the area dozens of times. Nothing unusual." "Because you were looking for stone," Arav replied. "I'm looking for energy." He showed her the decoded fragment. The text speaks of a flame that never dies, a temple powered by an eternal fire. What if it's not a myth? What if it's an ancient energy source? Maybe geothermal, maybe something we don't understand yet. Mira smirked. "An ancient reactor under the Ganges? You sound like a sci-fi movie." "Every myth starts as science we don't yet comprehend," he said quietly. 2 nights later, they assembled a small research crew and deployed a swarm of submersible drones into the river near Manikarnika Ghat. The drones were equipped with sonar and thermal imaging. For hours, the screens showed nothing but sediment and stone, until one feed displayed a faint circular structure glowing with residual heat. "What is that?" Mira whispered. "Something that's been warm for thousands of years," Arav replied. They prepared to dive. As they descended through the murky water, the world grew still. Only the hum of oxygen tanks and the faint glimmer of light from the drones surrounded them. At 15 meters deep, they found it, a dome-like structure of blackened stone covered in carvings that still shimmered faintly, as if infused with light from within. In the center of the dome, a large crystal radiated a soft orange hue, the Agni-shila. Arav reached out, his gloved hand trembling. The crystal's surface pulsed when he touched it, responding to his presence. The carvings on the walls began to glow, forming intricate geometric patterns, yantras, that seemed to rearrange themselves into constellations. Mira's sensors went wild. "This thing is emitting a frequency," she said, her voice quivering. "It's pure energy. Not heat, not radiation, something else." Before they could document further, a sudden surge of light enveloped them. When their vision cleared, they found themselves standing not in water but inside a vast hall, dry, illuminated by floating orbs of flame. "Are we still underwater?" Mira whispered. "I think." Arav took a deep breath. "We've crossed a threshold." The hall stretched endlessly, adorned with murals depicting the rise and fall of civilizations, celestial alignments, and travelers descending from the skies. At the center stood a massive statue of a sage holding a sphere of fire. A deep voice resonated through the chamber. "Welcome, seekers of the lost flame," they spun around. An old man dressed in saffron robes stood before them, but he shimmered like a projection, translucent yet alive. "Who are you?" Arav asked. "I am Agastya," the sage replied, "guardian of the fire of knowledge. This temple was sealed when the Age of Darkness began, to protect what mankind was not ready to wield." Mira's hands trembled. "Are we talking to an AI hologram?" "Or," Agastya smiled, "names change. In your tongue you would call me data preserved through time, but I am consciousness encoded in light. A bridge between your age and mine." He gestured to the crystal. "This is the Agni-shila, the living core of the temple. It converts thought into energy. When used with wisdom, it heals. When corrupted by greed, it destroys." Arav stepped closer. "You're saying this is ancient technology?" "It is heritage," Agastya said. "But heritage is not stone or scripture. It is memory, the seed of evolution within every soul. You are not the first to rediscover this temple. Others came seeking power. They vanished into their own desires. The question is, why have you come?" Arav hesitated. "To understand, to learn what we lost." Agastya's eyes glowed brighter. "Then you must see what was lost." The walls shifted, revealing visions. Cities of light floating above rivers, towers that harnessed cosmic rays, physicians who healed with sound, and scholars who spoke through pure thought. But then came chaos. Wars of pride, misuse of the flame, and oceans swallowing entire lands. "The cycle repeats," Agastya said. "Each age builds wonders, forgets humility, and falls. You stand at the threshold of another such age, where your machines mirror our mistakes." Mira stared at the vision, shaken. "Is there a way to break the cycle?" "Yes," the sage said softly. "By remembering who you are. The fire of knowledge is not meant to be contained. It must awaken within." As his form began to fade, he added, "Guard the flame, Arav Sharma. Do not let the seekers of power find it before the seekers of truth." The chamber dimmed, and the light swallowed them once again. They awoke on the riverbank at dawn, their suits soaked, their data drives intact. But when they checked the footage, most of it was corrupted, except for a few seconds showing the glowing crystal. No one believed them at first. The academic council dismissed their claims, calling it an elaborate hoax. But a few months later, the government science ministry summoned them in secret. Inside a glass tower in New Delhi, they met Minister Raghav Sen, a shrewd man with a calm smile and eyes that hid calculation. "Your discovery has national implications," he said. "We've cross-referenced your data with satellite anomalies. There are similar heat signatures across India, in Tamil Nadu, Odisha, and the Himalayas." He leaned forward. "We want you to lead a government expedition. The Prime Minister himself is interested, but this must remain classified. For now." Arav glanced at Mira. Something in Sen's tone felt wrong. "What will you do with the discovery?" Arav asked. Sen smiled thinly. "Preserve our heritage and harness its potential. India could lead the world into a new age of energy independence. Imagine, a nation powered by the wisdom of its ancestors." Arav hesitated. Agastya's warning echoed in his mind. When used with wisdom, it heals. When corrupted by greed, it destroys still. They agreed, hoping to protect the site themselves. Over the next months, the team uncovered 2 more Agni-shila sites, one beneath the ruins of Mahabalipuram, and another hidden in the caves of Odisha. Each was guarded by similar geometric energy patterns, and each resonated with the same frequency. Scientists called it bioluminescent plasma, but none could explain its sentience and the way it reacted to emotion. Meanwhile, leaks began to surface online. Anonymous footage showed glowing crystals, temples, and ancient holograms. Conspiracy forums erupted. Some claimed India had discovered alien relics. Others said it was divine intervention. The government responded by denying everything. But the truth was spreading. Faster than control. Then came the night everything changed. Arav and Mira were stationed near the Himalayan site when sensors detected a massive surge. One of the crystals was activating on its own. They rushed into the chamber. The Agni-shila glowed fiercely, and the carvings rearranged themselves into a spiral. Energy filled the air, vibrating through their bones. On the control screen, a strange symbol appeared. The same yantra they'd seen in Varanasi. But this time it wasn't a projection. It was a portal. Through the swirling light, they saw images. Cities of the future powered by living crystals. People meditating in harmony with technology, and children learning directly from beams of encoded light. It's showing us what could be, Mira whispered. Or what once was, Arav murmured. Suddenly the entire chamber shook. Military forces had arrived, led by Minister Sen himself. "Shut it down," he shouted. "The power readings are off the charts." Arav stepped forward. "You can't weaponize this. It's not a reactor, it's consciousness." Sen drew his weapon. "Step aside, Doctor. You've done your duty. Now let the nation benefit." The crystal's glow intensified, responding to the tension in the room. The air grew electric. Mira's voice trembled. "Arav, it's feeding on emotion. It's amplifying conflict." He turned to Sen. "If you don't stop, it will collapse the entire mountain."